Today on BRS TV's How-Tos, we're going to show you how to know when your carbon is working and when it needs to be replaced. Hi, I'm Ryan RT Turner, today's host of BRS TV's How-Tos, where each Tuesday we cover a new how-to related to reefing. This week we're going to show you how to identify if your carbon's actually working, how to know when to replace it, and show you an example of how much par is lost in dirty water. I think you'll be very surprised by the results. Most reefers already know that activated carbon removes the buildup of organic compounds resulting from the continual breakdown of foods and waste in the tank. These byproducts result in an undesirable yellow hue to the tank, odors, as well as irritating corals. Even more importantly, carbon also removes the toxins that the corals emit to fight each other, which generally irritate the corals and prevent healthy polyp extension. While all this is pretty common knowledge, what isn't common knowledge is when the carbon is exhausted and these things are building up in the tank. Luckily, we have a super easy way for you to identify this using something as simple as a couple white 5-gallon buckets. An increase in the yellowing pigments in the tank are an excellent indication that the carbon is exhausted or close to being exhausted. Because our aquarium lights are so blue, it can be hard to notice the slow change. I asked Ryan to stop changing out his carbon a couple months ago so he could demonstrate this in his tank. The tank looks pretty clear, but the blue lights are tricking us. This water is actually pretty dirty. The easiest way is to take a look during your water changes by filling a 5-gallon bucket with water from the tank and setting it next to a bucket of freshly mixed salt water. Clean salt water will have a pristine blue hue, so if both buckets look the same, your carbon's likely still working. In this case, the water is very yellow, which is a really good indicator that the carbon's exhausted. It's hard to believe, but even water this yellow will be that pristine blue hue again in less than a day. I'm going to change the carbon out today, and this is what it looked like after 24 hours. As long as you're using a high quality carbon and an efficient media reactor, the water should always be pristine. The white bucket works well for this because the white background provides an easy way to see the color pigments. The depth of the bucket is also as close to as deep as most tanks. The more water you're looking through, the deeper the color will be. So a shallow container wouldn't really work well. You also need to make sure that the bucket itself isn't stained yellow from old water sitting in it for long periods of time. So how does this dirty water affect par? We put this Radion over a bucket of fresh salt water and got a reading of almost 2100 par. In the dirty water, it dropped to 1625, which is a loss approaching 500 points. And this isn't even the dirtiest water out there. Honestly, I would feel pretty silly if I paid the big bucks for an LED system like the Radion Pro, partially because it has that extra par, only to instantly reduce it by not maintaining clean water with a couple bucks worth of carbon. In many cases, maintaining pristine water could also allow me to purchase a lower par light to begin with. This bucket testing is nice because it's something anyone can do and you can personally see the before and after results. This takes something that was fairly shrouded in mystery and makes it crystal clear when the carbon needs to be replaced. If you have any tips when you change your carbon or any questions for the community, check out the comments area down below. If this is your first time with us, hit that subscribe button because we release new BRS TV how-tos every Tuesday. See you all next week with another episode of BRS TV.